going on, YouTube? Keena Renee here. I am back with another video for you. If this is your first time here, my channel Keena is all about sharing facts and fun for content creators, entrepreneurs, and notary loan signing agents of all kinds. So if that's you, which I know it is because you clicked on this video, go ahead, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell because you're not going to want to miss any of my uploads. All right, so I know it's been some time since I've uploaded. I've had a lot going on, to say the least. Just between, one of my best friends getting married, and then I did have a death in my family that kind of took me out for a couple of weeks. I'm now back home in Virginia. I'm grateful I got to spend that time with my family, so I definitely feel so rejuvenated. I have so many videos I've been meaning to do, to put out, that I just haven't, because I honestly just haven't had the time with everything going on. And thank you so much to everybody that sent their prayers and your condolences to me for the loss of my grandfather. So definitely appreciate you all. Thank you so much for being patient. But today we're going to talk about supplies. Now, supplies is something that I get asked all the time in regards to my notary business. People ask me, what do I need to get? What printer do I need? All types of stuff about the scanner. Like, that's probably like the next biggest question that I get when it comes to supplies and for starting your notary loan signing agent. So I'm gonna just go ahead and talk about it. Here's some things that I definitely think that are necessary to start your notary loan signing agent. There's some supplies that you can kind of get away with not really getting off the bat, but there's some things that you just cannot cut corners on. You're just going to have to spend that money to get what you need, because trust me, it's going to make your life and your job so much easier if you just get the necessary items that you need starting out. So the first thing I want to talk about is printers, okay? My printer, everybody knows my printer is the HP but M42 DFW. It is a dual tray printer. It is a laser jet printer. It is an all-in-one. So all-in-one meaning that it has the copier, the scanner, and all that in one machine. I highly suggest that you get something that's all in one, okay? For me, it's a lot easier. It's more convenient than having like a separate scanner and then a separate printer. I don't know if some people prefer it like that, but for me, I just prefer to have an all-in-one system set up. Everything will be linked down in the description box below, okay, when it comes to supplies, so you can just click on it and get it. Now, a lot of questions are if you need to get the Brother printer or HP with your brand, which one is better. A lot of people prefer to get the Brother printers in this business just simply because the toner is a lot cheaper. The toner is a lot cheaper than the HP toner. And I will say, if you get the printer that I get, and you get a high volume of signings, prepare to spend at least an additional $200 to $300 on toner each month. I'm just, consider that an expense for good business. Just prepare to spend that, because the toner that I get, I do the shortcut and I purchase it online instead of buying it in store, because it's cheaper if you buy it online than just going to the store to buy it. But I believe with taxes, it's like $112 or $113 per toner. And that usually lasts me a few weeks. It depends on my volume of signings. This month, I honestly haven't really done many signings just because, like I said, I've had a lot going on. I've been out of town for the majority of the month, so I haven't really been here to do signings. I've been back down south with my family. Usually, if it's a regular schmegular month and I'm doing signings, I do at least 2 of those. I go through at least 2 of those per month. So that's, again, an additional $200 or something that you have to pay for toner. Paper, you can kind of order that on Amazon, so that expense isn't as much. If you get the HP printer, expect to be paying at least that much additional per month for toner. Nobody said that this business was cheap, or saying that the overhead. I mean, if you think about it on the grand scheme of things, it is cheaper than most businesses, but there is still going to be some hard costs that you're just going to have to eat, that you're just going to have to pay for if you want to continue being a notary loan signing agent. So toner is just one of those things. I do not suggest getting any off-brand toners. I would get genuine cartridges. It just makes everything, especially with your machine, just run a lot smoother. Just pay the money, guys. Just pay the money to get the genuine toner cartridges. Trust me. It's just trust me. So another thing when it comes to the printers is it has to be laser jet. I will link some options down below. My printer is already linked down in the description box under the My Supply section, but I'll link some other options for people that are just starting in this business and need the right printer. A laser printer is you can't use an inkjet. It must be a laser printer. You cannot get around that, ladies and gentlemen. It has to be a laser jet printer that takes toner and not ink. Trust me, once you start printing loan documents with ink, it's not gonna work out for you. Trust me, it's not gonna work out. Them little ink cartridges don't even last for a full package. So, you'll be wasting money, spending a whole bunch of money buying the ink anyway if you did use an inkjet printer. But just know, that's something that you cannot cut costs or skip. You have to have a laser jet printer to do loan signings, to accept those loan signings. I don't suggest going and paying, FedEx or any other print service to go print your documents. That'll add up as well because you have to do not only one copy but two copies. Keep in mind, you have to print a second set for the borrower, and that adds up, and you're not going to want to do that as well. So I highly suggest, okay, to get started, supplies. One of the things you can't cut, you need to get a laser jet printer. Now, one of the things that you can kind of cut and save costs is, whether it's a single tray or a dual tray printer. Now, you don't necessarily need a dual tray printer to get started doing loan signings. I tell people you can always just start off with a single tray. And honestly, you can just print all your documents on legal size paper. You don't even need to print the dual printing between the letter and the legal. A lot of times, I started noticing when I was getting my direct packages directly from escrow and title companies, the package was just already printed on all legal size paper. Sometimes companies, when you get the business through a signing services, will suggest or prefer that you print their loan packages on legal size. So I tell people, you don't need to get the dual tray. That's something that you can cut. You can't just get a printer that has a single tray and just, use legal size paper. At the end, it is cheaper if you do it that way. If you just have, you just have to worry about getting legal paper. Legal paper is a lot more expensive than letter paper. But again, it's all about your preference. If you still do want to print on letter and legal paper with a single tray printer, you can always just get a page sorter, which I believe that's offered on Notary Cafe, on one of those other notary sites, where it automatically will separate the closing package for you between letter size pages and legal size pages. To me, that's an extra step, but it's an option if that's something that you just specifically want to do by having the letter and the legal. Or my suggestion is just to print, get the single tray and just print on all legal size paper. Next thing that I definitely want to talk about as far as supplies, starting your notary loan signing agent business, is your stamps. A lot of people ask me, do I need to get the embosser? Do I need to get this? Do I need to get that? Starting out, I definitely, I would say just to go ahead and you can get your startup supplies like through the NNA or the AAN, which is the American Association of Notaries. That's where I got my startup when I first became a notary. That's where I got my supplies. It's just a lot easier just to get everything starting out. The packages are usually not too expensive, for the embosser and just the regular stamp, the rectangular stamp. That you will need the rectangular stamp is self-inking. I don't really use my embosser unless I'm doing like wills, just documents like that. I definitely would not use an embosser for a closing package. But as you start up your notary journey and you do general notary work, people do like to use and see like the fancy schmancy gold seal with the raised print with the embosser. So that's up to you. That's really a preference thing, but I just tell people that you just might as well get all of that starting out, because you never know. Once you become a notary and you kind of put yourself out there, you never know the calls that you're going to get, what is going to be needed. So I just like to be overly prepared. That's just me. In addition to the stamps, I will also say get like a mini stamp and a circular stamp. Some people do like to see the circle stamp instead of the rectangle, just because it's familiar to what people know as far as what a notary stamp looks like. And people view it as it being more professional. And as far as like they have like mini stamps, like smaller stamp, that's helpful to have that stamp for smaller spaces, because sometimes the space that you have to notarize isn't going to be nice and big. Just being honest with you, it's not gonna be nice and big. So, that mini stamp kind of comes in handy for cases like that. All the other, like the gold seals and stuff, you can get that. I mean, you can go through the NNA, or you can go to like a Office Depot or Amazon. You can get the stamps on Amazon. So up to you. Everything is linked. Just go to my description box and I will have all that information there for you to get started. Paper. Okay, so let's talk about paper. Like I said, if you have a single tray printer starting out, I suggest just worry about just printing everything on legal size paper. So in that case, you don't really have to worry about getting both legal and letter. The cheapest place for me that I've seen to buy paper is through Amazon. Amazon also has like the subscribe and save option. You can subscribe just to automatically get your paper every 6 weeks is what I have mine on. And you can also have an option to skip it. If you don't need paper that month, you can just go ahead and skip it. So I like that flexibility, and it usually is pretty cheap. I get two packs of 3 ream legal paper bundles, and it's like $50, which to me is like super cheap. And really 6 is all that I really need. To me, that's super affordable and that's super cheap. Also other places that you can go and get paper is Walmart. Walmart to me is very hit or miss. I don't know about y'all Walmarts, but it's too hit or miss for me. Every time that I go to Walmart, 9 times out of 10, they barely have any paper. It's been rummaged through. It's just, it's something very ghetto. It's like ghetto. So I'll do Walmart. I don't get my paper from Walmart. Amazon is my true blue. Again, I will link the paper that I get down below. That's helpful for me. That works for me. If Walmart works for you, then have at it. You definitely want to stay from like the Office Max, the Office Depots, the Staples, because that paper is very expensive. Extremely expensive. So I would stay away from there unless they have special deals or coupons that you can use to get paper. But like I said, I do get my toner from there, but I buy it online because it's like $50 cheaper when you get it online. Just a tip, okay? Just a tip. That's a quick little gem. So yeah, that's about paper. And I definitely wanted to talk about scanners, because I had somebody recently ask me, do you need a scanner? And should you take fax back signings when you don't have a scanner. I personally wouldn't take any signings that require scan backs and I don't have a scanner, just because it's going to be, to me, it's just like, oh, you have to find some place or you have to go. Like, it's just a extra step. If you want to do scan backs, like I said, it's best just to get the all-in-one printer, like the HP that I have, or just go ahead and get the separate scanner. If you have to get the printer and then get the scanner, I would absolutely, that's not something that I would not wait on, because you want to be able to take signings that, does the scan backs, even though they're paying. Not even gonna lie to you. Even though they're paying, you definitely want to not limit yourself when you're starting out. So definitely invest in a scanner. You want to get one that scans pretty quickly, because you have to keep in mind these packages are anywhere between 120 to 160, sometimes 200 plus. So you definitely want a scanner that scans a lot of sheets per minute. You know what I'm saying? I believe like in the 30 or 50 range. That's pretty good and will get the job done pretty quickly. Scan backs usually don't take long, if you have the proper machine to do it. Definitely not one of those single page scanners. If you do have a single page scanners, I would use that just for scanning like IDs or just documents, or that they may need to submit. But I definitely wouldn't have that be your scanner that you use to scan the loan documents, because that's a lot. So just to recap, because this video is getting long, printers, you definitely need to get a LaserJet printer. You can kind of cut costs by getting a single tray, and it doesn't have to be a dual tray automatically. Just get the single tray. And I suggest that if you get the single tray, just to print your loan documents on all legal size paper, so you don't have to worry about the page sorter going back and forth and then getting both letter and legal. I've actually been doing that for a while and I haven't had any issues whatsoever. And then for the paper, be sure to go to Amazon. That's where I get my paper. That to me has been the cheapest way to order paper. And you need a scanner, okay? You definitely need a scanner, whether if it's in your all-in-one printer or if you get a separate machine, but you definitely need some sort of scanner to do scan backs. All right, you guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, if you found it helpful, please subscribe to my channel, share this with somebody, get me back into this YouTube algorithm, y'all, because man, when I say it's been, I've been doing more shorts and things like that just to kind of, keep my YouTube channel going. So helpful. I'm probably going to do a live sometime very soon. So look out for that. Okay. Look out for that live. Check out my shorts. Check out my Instagram, my TikTok. I'm talking. I'm getting back into my TikToks. I haven't even been on TikTok, y'all. That's how busy and crazy it's been for me. Like, it's been crazy, okay? Crazy to say the least, but I'm getting through it. Rest in peace to my grandfather, who I love very much. I was so sad. My grandfather had been sick for some time. I got to see him in June, and so I did get to spend some time with him before he left us up here on this ghetto ass earth. Went on home to glory. But those that know me know I'm very close to my grandparents. So, those that know me know how I am when it comes to my grandparents. So yes, not gonna cry, but he will be missed. Here's his program. Shout out to my grandpa, Mr. Taylor. But thank you guys, and until next time, peace.